folks. So, continuing on where we left off from. So, this scene, again, like I said, this video is a lot of, looking past what they initially showed you and thinking more a little bit, what they didn't really touch on, or what really isn't the main focus of the trailers and the scenes that I'm going to be touching on, right? So this scene right here, honestly, one of the first things that drew my eye to it was that Pokeball. Like, that Pokeball, first of all, looks super dope. It looks like some kind of steampunk Pokeball. I know it's not, it's an ancient Pokeball, but it looks like some kind of steampunk designed Pokeball. And the first thing that I thought when I saw that, being a person who likes to shiny hunt, who likes to catch Pokemon in very specific balls so that they aesthetically look better, I just thought, are those balls going to be compatible in other games? If this game, first of all, is compatible with other games, if I can trade Pokemon from this game to other games, which I'm very sure that I can, at the very least, I know that I'll be able to get these Pokemon into Pokemon Home and then transfer them to other games. So the first thing I thought was, is that Pokeball going to remain the same in other games? If I transfer this Pokemon to Pokemon Home and then move it to Pokemon Shield, is that ball going to turn into a regular modern Pokeball, or is it going to stay that way? And is the animation for the Pokemon coming out of it the same? How are these Pokeballs going to work? Does that also mean that every other Pokeball is going to look like that? Is there going to be Great Balls? Is there going to be Ultra Balls? And if so, are they all going to look like this? Or is it just going to be Pokeballs from the start? That's another thing. Is it just going to have Pokeballs? And honestly, I don't think so. I'll touch on that later on in the video, but I don't think there's just going to be regular Pokeballs. There might be Pokeballs and then other balls. I'm not sure about Great Balls and Ultra Balls, but there will definitely be Pokeballs, and I'm gonna talk about the other balls later on. One of the other balls though that I want to talk about before I move to something else is the Master Ball. Will the Master Ball exist in this game? Because I'm pretty sure the Master Ball was created specifically in like the modern times of Pokemon, right? I think if I'm getting my lore right, I feel like it was a newer Pokeball that was invented in the newer times of Pokemon, right? So all these questions about Pokeballs that I have, and you would think that looking at this scene, just it's just a simple scene opening, right? But no, Pokeballs are important to me. I like my Pokeballs, okay? Anyways, let's get on to the next point that I have. All right, now this is another, I feel like, hot take, maybe unpopular opinion, because I've seen a lot of videos speculating about this. But that patch right there, a lot of people are thinking that it has something to do with Team Galactic, that maybe you're working for Team Galactic, that maybe the professor is secretly a Team Galactic person, they're like a part of Team Galactic, whatever. And honestly, I don't think that's the case. I do not think that is the case at all. I think that this is just an insignia. It's nothing to do with Team Galactic. It does look like Team Galactic. But my theory on that is that maybe Team Galactic in the future drew their insignia, their symbol, from this ancient symbol. You know what I mean? Because it would make sense. He wants to go back. Cyrus wants to go back in time. He wants to reset everything. So maybe he drew his insignia from that, or maybe this does have something to do with the Team Galactic insignia, but in this time period, Team Galactic was not even Team Galactic, obviously, they didn't exist, but like the organization that used the insignia of Team Galactic was not evil. Like, they might be just completely benevolent, and it's one of those things where an evil organization comes, sees the symbol, and goes, hey, even though this person has slightly different ideals than me, they connect the dots with the things that are similar, and they're like, let's use this insignia, right? So that's what I think. I don't think this insignia has anything to do with Team Galactic. I could be wrong, I could be right. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with Team Galactic. I think it's just a coincidence. I think it's just, them trying to stay on brand with the logo and the aesthetic of the, Sinnoh games. But yeah, that's my quick little spiel on this little insignia that everyone that had the internet ablaze the moment these trailers were released. So next point, shall we? All right, so the next point I want to get into is starters, and this is another opinion that I feel like I might be a little bit wrong, like half wrong, half is definitely right, because it's already been confirmed in the games. But I believe that first of all, obviously, we're going to be able to catch the 3 Sinnoh starters in the wild. We've already seen you can catch Monferno, or not Monferno, sorry, Chimchar. We've seen there is a wild Turtwig that you can also catch. There is very clearly Piplups here in the wild. And so I know that you're going to be able to catch these Sinnoh starters, which I'm actually excited for because, like I said, if there's other balls in the game, which I do think there are, I'm the type of person that likes to catch certain Pokemon in certain balls, so I can go around, catch these Pokemon, probably transfer them to other games, and then shiny hunt them with these unique balls. And I love that combination of unique ball plus shiny, or even just unique ball with a starter, because as you know, most starters, you can't catch them in the wild, so you can't really get them with unique balls. The Kanto starters have been available in so many different ways. The Johto starters are available in Alola, so you can get those in different balls. But yeah, basically, the long short is that I'm excited that starters are going to be in the wild and you can catch them. You can catch multiples of them. I wonder if they'll have the same gender ratio. I wonder. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, so it's very clear that the Sinnoh starters are going to be in the wild. I wouldn't expect any less. But what I think, this is my unpopular opinion that I might be wrong about, I think that you will be able to catch starters from other regions. And I know people are going to disagree with that because, you know, the 3 starters that you start with are very clearly stated as being from other regions, and that a professor has to travel to those regions and bring them back. But I think the way they're going to loophole that is with like wormholes or some kind of like den where time shifts differently, or some kind of like time shifting thing or something along those lines, right? They're gonna have like a spot in the wild where maybe time fluxes differently, and you can go into it and you have to close this time rift, it's time flux, but there's a Pokemon at the center of it. And I feel like some of those may have strong Pokemon, strong rare Pokemon that you can't find in the wild of these games, but I feel like some of those might be starters from other regions that just happen to be in this time flux. And I feel like that's very possible with the theme of Diamond and Pearl, or the whole Gen 4 being time and space. I feel like it's very possible that they'll have little dens or something, and we've already have clips that I will touch on at the end of this of like some kind of boss battle, some kind of special event, right? So I feel like they'll have some starters available via special event, maybe the Galar starters, because I don't see them having the Galar starters in the wild, but I also don't see them just pushing the Galar starters out completely, because they also do have to, you know, also not even have to, they want to obviously keep their newest gen kind of in the limelight. Like with Alola, they made sure that the Alola starters were available in Sword and Shield after they patched them in and stuff. So I think Galar starters will make an appearance in this game somehow, some way. I don't know how. My best bet is like a time rift or rift, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's basically all I want to touch on for starters. I'm excited we can catch the Sinnoh starters, and I'm hoping that we can see other starters in a cool little like mini event or whatever, right? So with that said, on to the next point, folks. Ooh, okay. So this is another one that I think people are going to disagree with me on. And if it is true, which I think is true, is going to be one of those big concerns for controversy, like the Dexit was for Sword and Shield. I feel like this is going to be a big controversy for these games, and it's that there's only going to be one main village. Now, I've seen a few people say or speculate that they think, you know, it'd be cool if there's multiple different little villages, or you could see like the beginnings of the other cities that are in Sinnoh. But I think that there's only going to be one main village. I don't see them doing another village. If you look at a lot of the shots they gave us, I know it's very early, you don't see any kind of human settlements on the horizon. You don't see none of that. And I think that's because this region is fresh, like fresh, where people just got here. And there are clips to kind of reinforce that theory that there's only one village, people just got here, they didn't even have time to set up other villages, so how could they have, you know, how could there be multiple villages if they haven't even been able to set up the first village? We don't even have a Pokedex yet. Like, no one, this is Sinnoh before anything has ever been set up, right? And like I said, I have clips from the trailer of Legends, like small little clips to show you that will kind of reinforce that, and I'm gonna play them just now.
People have journeyed to Sinnoh from all over and founded a prosperous village with the village as your base.
Alright, so as you could see in both of those clips, one of them says, quote for quote, founded a village, not founded villages, not founded, you know, settlements. Like it's like very much, these people founded a village. They moved here from other regions and they founded a village, a singular village. And that right there kind of tells me that this is going to be a one village kind of game. But then the other clip also says, with the village as your, I don't remember the exact quote, but I just have the main point of the quote, which is, with the village, it'll be your headquarters or whatever, right? And it's like, that makes me believe that it's just one main village. They said founded a village, founded, or with the village as your base of operations. So I don't think there's going to be other villages, settlements. There might be like small, maybe outposts, maybe like a guard tower, not even a guard tower, but like a scouting tower or something. Maybe even excavation site. Because is it the next one? No. Even an excavation site. Because there are like signs that there's like ruins in the game, right? So maybe there's excavation sites somewhere like that, right? But I don't think there's going to be any main like large other villages besides the initial village that we're going to be using as our main hub. And I mean, I don't have a problem with that, and I feel like a lot of people will have a problem with that, but it makes sense. Like, this game is supposed to be, we're literally setting up the region. Like, we don't even have a Pokedex yet. That's our job, to get the Pokedex. People in the village will probably be working on actually setting up the village infrastructure and stuff like that. So I think there's just gonna be one village. That's it, that's all. And yeah, move on to the next point. Okay, now this is what got me incredibly excited for Pokemon Legends, was this scene right here. First of all, I want to touch on the very, very big, maybe elephant in the room. I don't know. To me, it was elephant in the room. There's no super effective, not effective. You know, there's none of that. There's none of that on the actual battle screen, which I like. It makes it very much more competitive, very much more serious, and more like you have to know what is weak to what and what every Pokemon's type is. And I hope they keep it that way. I hope they don't add super effective to this, because that was the one thing that really felt handholdy in the new games, is that you know exactly what's weak against what. And growing up, I remember, you know, up until like Gen 6, even though I was growing for Gen 6, but up until Gen 6, it was like you didn't know what was, you would forget things, you would forget a Pokemon's type or something like that. So I like that they removed the super effective, not very effective stuff. But also, this is what I was talking about in the Diamond and Pearl section of this analysis, is that they showed this looks very clean. This looks very clean, very ready to ship out in a game. Like, it looks very polished, this whole UI, right? And to think that they have a polished UI for Legends, but they don't for Diamond and Pearl, I don't buy that. And that's why I think it's a little weird that it didn't show the UI for battling in Diamond. But this UI here looks very, very sophisticated. It looks very sophisticated. It looks very mature. It looks very competitive worthy, in my opinion. Like, this looks like it's going to be the main competitive scene going forward. Because like I said, I don't see them replacing the current competitive scene with a remake. It's much more likely that they could continue the competitive scene with a new game, like a new entry into the series. And this series, both visually of the Pokemon and like the graphics of the game and the graphics of this UI, gives me that feel of this is going to be the main competitive going forward. And I can see, you know, the same way they had like with Sword and Shield, where it's like you match with someone and you guys can get different like battlegrounds and stuff. I can see us having different battlegrounds depending on, I don't know how it would be dependent, but you know, depending on certain things, right? We could have different battlegrounds. It could be like battling in mountains, like a snowy mountain, a rocky mountain, in a swamp. And yeah, that would just be really freaking cool to see. And actually, you know what I didn't even think about is weather. Weather would be really crazy to see in this game. I really do hope they have weather in this game. They better have weather, because that would be crazy if you just see rain come down when you do like rain dance, drizzle, the ability drizzle, sunny day, all of that stuff. It'd be so dope to just see the weather effects that they can put on this. And yeah, yeah, I'm super excited for the battling in this game. Like, that was one of my main things. I saw it and I was like, oh my god. Man, I'm excited for this game. But we have a few more points. What do I want to get into? I have one more little screen I want to show you guys. If I can scroll my thing down. Yeah, I have one more screen from the trailer that I want to show you guys, and then I'm going to get into the leaked stuff, my opinions on that, and then we're going to wrap up this video. So let's move on with the analysis. Okay, so this scene again was really fast. It was like maybe not even 5 seconds, probably like 2 seconds long. And basically this scene is kind of, I want to touch on this scene because of the ruins in the background. Like, that very clearly is a ruin, some kind of ruined stone structure of some sort, right? So it definitely does allude to the fact that there will be other human-made structures. And in one of the previous points that I made, I said that I don't think there's going to be settlements or villages, but I do think there are going to be ruins. There's going to be maybe even excavation sites that will have maybe a small little base of operations around it or something. But those ruins in the back give me a very big I don't know, hope, assumption that, you know, there's going to be castles, or not, maybe not castles, but, you know, like, there's gonna be ruins, there's gonna be castles. I said there's not gonna be castles, but maybe castles, you know, castles, ruins, you know, like ancient structures or ancient settlements that have been abandoned by ancient people that we're gonna be able to get to go into. And maybe those will have bosses at the end of them. Maybe it'll be like a dungeon, and you get to the end and there's a boss Pokemon, or there is, you know, maybe that'll be how you find like I said, the starters from other regions. Maybe it'll be like a time hole in the dungeon, or a time loop, time rift, whatever you want to call it, a time wormhole, something. I feel like will be at the end of these ruins if we are able to explore ruins. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the main trailer part of Legends. So with all of that out of the way, we're going to get into the few leaked screenshots and what I think about those. Okay, so first things first with these screenshots. Everybody is definitely talking about the 2 ride Pokemon. Some people think there's 3, but that middle one I don't think is a Pokemon. I think it's just the player character climbing up a mountain, maybe has a backpack on or something on his back. But yeah, I think it's just the player character climbing up a mountain. That's the scarf. His little beret is there, or her beret, whichever one you choose, and that's all that is, right? But the 2 Pokemon on the left and the right, those are what's been causing up a storm. And the first Pokemon I want to touch on is the bird, because I think I very clearly know what the bird Pokemon is, and to me that is very clearly either a Braviary or a Staraptor. Now, when I first saw it, I thought Braviary. Very obvious. Look at the head. The head is very clearly Braviary's head. It looks like it has the you know, the fro thing going on, right? But then I did a little bit of a finagling on Photoshop, and I, you know, took Braviary and I took Staraptor's silhouettes, or I took their pictures of them and I made silhouettes out of them, and I will throw that on screen right now. And if you look first at Braviary, it looks like it could fit. It does look like it could fit, but the legs are the one thing that throws me off with Braviary. The Braviary's legs are very much thicker than that bird's legs, and it comes straight down. Like, it doesn't, like, this bird has kind of like a little feather thing that kind of, like, you know, stops, and then the legs come out of the feathers. Braviary's legs have a thick, like, looks like a leg, like an actual animal leg, like a mammal leg, right? And that's the one thing that makes me think it's not Braviary. It's possible. But then I did Staraptor, and if you look at Staraptor, the head shape is a bit different, but who knows what angle we're looking at this bird from, right? So the head shape is a bit different from the screen here, but the legs kind of match up. Staraptor does have those, you know, points, or those like feathers that come out, and then the leg comes out of the feathers, and the wing tip looks very similar to Staraptor's wing. So I think personally it's either Braviary or it's either Staraptor, and we'll just have to wait and see for another trailer or something else to come out to confirm or disprove that. But I'm on the Braviary Staraptor train as of right now, and you can't tell me differently. But if you want, again, comments are down below. Let me know what you think about all of this. Now, the next Pokemon, I'm very torn apart, I'm torn apart about this Pokemon. I'm very torn about this other Pokemon, the deer. The deer doesn't look like any actual Pokemon. Like, it doesn't look like any Pokemon we've seen for the most part, right? My initial guess with the deer is it's a Sawsbuck. I think it's a Sawsbuck. I really do. Some people think Cobalion. Some people, I'm not gonna say some people. I think Stantler. At first, I thought Stantler, but then I did the silhouette test. When in doubt, do the silhouette test. I did the silhouette test. If you look at Cobalion's silhouette to this deer, it's clearly not Cobalion. The horns are completely different. Cobalion has a very distinct like zigzag, not zigzag, but pointy silhouette at the back of it because of that, whatever that, those are hairs, whatever they are. But whatever it is, that's definitely not Cobalion. The silhouette would have made it very obvious that it's Cobalion with its pointed area at the back. Now, the next Pokemon I thought was Stantler, but then looking at it, I thought it was Stantler mainly because of the rounded tail at the back. And now, looking at it, I don't think it's Stantler either because of the horns. You put the silhouette up there, it doesn't look like it could be Stantler. Again, take this all with a very big grain of salt because I can't get those Pokemon into this actual position, right? But if you throw a Sawsbuck next to this Pokemon, the horns are almost identical. The way the head, I'm gonna put another screen. I did a little outline with little arrows, kind of giving an indication of what could be what. The horns are almost identical, right? The way the head is kind of like the head orientation on a Sawsbuck is also very similar. And then Sawsbuck does have a thing coming down here, so that could be his little plume that we see there. That back circle I thought was a tail, but it very much could just be a riding sack because I'm pretty sure there's a saddle right behind the character in black. It looks like that might be the back of a saddle or something. And it's pretty common on saddles that they have the saddle and they have a little riding pack with like a bedroll or something. I don't know. That's what I think that is though. I think it's a saddle, or the circular part is a riding pack, a riding bag or a pack or something. And I think that the silhouette kind of matches for a Sawsbuck. I think that could be a Sawsbuck. It's very possible. It's also very possible that that could just be a new form of an existing Pokemon. I'm kind of on the fence about if they're going to do new forms. I don't think they will, but if they do, that's a very good candidate for a new form. But I think it's a Sawsbuck. More than likely, that's probably a Sawsbuck. Again, we'll have to wait and, you know, see what is what. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I just realized something else about these screenshots now that I'm looking at them even more. I'll touch on it really quickly here. I didn't expect to put this in the video. If you look at the bottom three screenshots, the bottom right corner has an item thing. It has like an item selection thing, kind of like Monster Hunter. If you played Monster Hunter, you know that you press the button, cycle through your items. And I never really realized that before. There's definitely, I realized it, but I didn't realize really what it was. And I'm really looking at it now because I have another point kind of discussing the UI down there, which I will get to in a bit. But next, before we do that, I want to talk about these trees, because you all know how much Pokemon fans love their trees. Can't have a Pokemon game without good trees, right? Anyways, these trees are very clearly interactable trees. And these trees, I bring them up because it goes back to my very first point of this part of the analysis. It's Pokeballs. I think Pokeballs, the actual Pokeballs, are just going to be, they're just going to be Pokeballs. There isn't going to be Great Balls, Ultra Balls, Master Balls, but I think there will be like Love Balls, Sleep Ball, not Love Ball, but Sleep Ball, Lure Ball. I think it will be those kind of special balls because these look like, at the very least, they look like berry trees. At the very most, they look like apricot trees. Apricot? I forget what they're called. Apricorns, I think they're called. They look like apricorn trees, and as we all know, you can make Pokeballs out of apricorns. And it just makes perfect sense. The Pokeball that they show at the beginning of the game looks very natural. Looks like it's made out of wood or something. And I can very much see them having apricorns in these games because the art of making those balls was an old art. If you played Gen 2, if you played the remix in Gen 4, Kurt is one of the only people that can make the balls because it's an old art, lost to time, and I think he teaches his granddaughter or somebody, I think. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense with the time period, with the fact that Pokeballs would have to be made out of natural materials. It makes a lot of sense that apricorns would be in this game, and you can use them to make things like lure balls and sleep balls, heavy balls, all of that stuff, right? And that makes me even more excited because I love those balls. I love the aesthetic of those balls. I love how they look when the Pokemon comes out of them. They have good, like, really cool animations. And I am really hoping that there's apricorns in those trees. Really hoping. I know there's berries. There has to be berries in this game because there's no Pokemon game without berries. Always has berries. But I really do hope there's apricorns in those trees, guys. Really, really do. I want me some ancient apricorn balls. Anyways, on to the next point. Alright, now, the last two things I want to touch on. Let me pull this one up. It is the Mystery Mon that has everybody talking. Every single person in the Pokemon community is talking about this freaking Mystery Mon right here. Now, this is what tears me up, right? I don't know if that's a new Pokemon, if it's a new form, if it's maybe a new mythical. I'm not sure. I don't know what that is. It's definitely a Pokemon though, and it's definitely doing something, right? And so this is my theory on this Pokemon here, right? It is one of two, maybe three things. The first thing I think it is some kind of like aspect of a Pokemon. Like when I mean aspect, I don't mean like a characteristic. I mean like a spiritual aspect, like an avatar or a ghost of a Pokemon. Like it's like how in Lavender Town there was that like mystery Pokemon that was not really a Pokemon. You know what I mean? After you beat it, it turned into a Pokemon. And I think that this is a very good chance that that's what this is. This is just like a placeholder aspect or avatar of a Pokemon, and then you have to beat it. Maybe it got corrupted by something, I don't know. You beat it, and then it transforms into a Pokemon, like a regular Pokemon. Like the most I could say that this might be is an Infernape, but again, it doesn't look like Infernape at all. So I'm like, I don't know what it is, and that's why I'm like the whole possibility of maybe it's like an Infernape that's been possessed or something, then you have to beat it and turn it back into a regular Infernape or something. That makes sense to me. It could very well just be a new mythical, but then again, I don't think they're gonna have mythicals just roaming around in the wild like that. Like they might, but I highly doubt they're just gonna make it a regular occurrence, right? That would be weird. And I honestly have no idea what this is. I'm stumped. I think it's maybe like an aspect, like a placeholder aspect kind of thing, or a ghost, whatever, for Pokemon. But that's really all I can say about this thing. It looks very cool. I'm excited to see what it is. But yeah, I don't know what it could be. If you guys have any ideas that are differ from mine, feel free to let me know, because I would love to talk about this Pokemon or this thing, whatever it is. But yeah, moving on. One of the other things I wanted to touch on this part on this scene really quickly, sorry, is it here? Yeah, it's here. So let me pull it up. So this here, like I said a few minutes ago, talking about the bar down there, right? I didn't realize, I was looking at this bar, right? When I was looking at the mystery Pokemon, I noticed that there's two question marks in that frame with the mystery Pokemon. At first, I thought that maybe that was like a map marker, right? Like I thought it was a map marker. Maybe you can cycle through the map markers, press X to mark, you know, that specific thing on your map. But looking at the other frame, the first leaked frames, it's very clear this is like some kind of item wheel. And now it's even weirder to me that there's two question marks on the item wheel. Either those are items that have not been programmed into the game yet, or just not, you know, aren't finished, or this item wheel has something to do with the Pokemon you're interacting with currently, or it has something to do with something, because the question mark item wheel is from the frame with the mystery Pokemon. This bottom item wheel is just the frame, I think, is it with the Lucario? Yes, the frame with the Lucario, I believe. And everything looks fine, like everything is visible, there's no question marks here. So yeah, this item wheel is more mysterious then we're giving it credit for. I think. I really do think that there's this item bar is a talking point. I don't have much to say about it because I'm not sure what it is. It's a big mystery to me. It's just this question mark here really throwing me for a loop, throwing me for a big loop. I want to know what it is. But finally, another big question mark actually is this. Let me pull this up for you guys. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but there is a freaking where is it? There is a freaking UFO. Y'all see the UFO? You see it? I see it. What is that? What is that UFO? Like, it's very clearly on the top of Mount Coronet. That has to be Mount Coronet. But what is that? Again, this kind of leads me to believe that there's going to be time loops or time rifts or time dens or something, because that very much looks like a rift in the sky that maybe was created by Arceus or something. Maybe Arceus comes out of an egg, right? Or it does something, it has some connection to an egg, so maybe an egg comes out of there and falls down onto Mount Coronet. But that thing right there, I saw that and I was like, hold on one hecate minute. What is that? That's definitely a wormhole of some kind, right? And it's like, what are the possibilities of what that could be and what it could do for the game? That's definitely going to have a major, that definitely has to be like the main plot of the game. That hole right there. A hole opens up, a rift in the sky opens up, and we have to discover what, who, where, when, why, how. And I feel like that rift is going to be something that, like I said, brings Pokemon from other regions and times into this world. Maybe even Ultra Beasts at a certain point, right? Yeah, that makes sense to me. It could just be a smudge. Just imagine it's just a smudge on the lens or whatever, but I think that has something to do with the main story. I think it's a rift in time or space, or both, time and space, that is causing a problem in the region, an influx or an outflux or some kind of flux of energy that is disrupting things. And I think our mission is going to be to discover what that wormhole is, how to close it, you know, what it could mean for the region, all of that stuff. I don't know what that is, but I'm very excited to figure out what it is. But yeah, with all of that said, that's pretty much all the points I wanted to talk about. This video went on a lot longer than I expected it to, but yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm going to wrap up this analysis video. I have plans. I don't want to say I'm going to, but I have plans to do a prediction video. I already have 10 predictions, 5 for Diamond and Pearl, 5 for Legends. I'm going to try to put it in one video. This one didn't go that way, but maybe I can get that in one video. If not, 2 videos of predictions, 5 for Diamond and Pearl, 5 for Legends. And yeah, just stay tuned for that. I don't know when it's going to drop. Hopefully this week, maybe next week. But I definitely have more plans to do other discussionary videos. A lot of Pokemon discussion videos, because there's a lot to talk about. I like Pokemon a lot. I'm very much into the discussionary part of Pokemon. So stay tuned for that stuff. And I'm going to get out of here and let you guys ponder all of the stuff that we've talked about in this video. And again, you know what it is. If you have any opinions that agree, disagree, if you have something that I didn't touch on that you think is, you know, this is how it's going to be, definitely leave a comment down below. Start a discussion, guys. It would be cool to get, like, you know, a little discussion going in the comments. Maybe you guys can enlighten me to stuff that I didn't see, or maybe you think I'm wrong and you want to tell me about it. You know where to do it. Down below in the comments. Do it to it. But with that said, I'm going to get out of here. So, y'all know what it is. If you enjoy the content and would like to see more of this kind of videos, definitely leave a like, subscribe, because I will be expanding this content and doing more stuff like this in the future. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.